Yes, ma'am. You may start. Thank you.
Okay. So, good afternoon to all of you, and welcome once again to this, webinar series being celebrated as a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We have been experiencing a lot of activities all over the country, and a lot of events are being organized to celebrate this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And I feel all of us must be very proud, and we feel very integrated with our culture and history. So we in Skill Council are participating, as you all know, by organizing a series of webinars on different topics. We are related to environment, renewable energy. Every time I repeat that these are the sectors which are related to the climate change, and we are organizing more on technology, more on social awareness. Every aspect of it we are trying to do so that the energy transition, we all learn more and more towards what we have to transit in the energy sector, and also meeting our goals for the net zero energy transition. So we have talked about many sectors, and today the topic which I'm going to tell is about linear economy. Our economy till now has been linear economy, where we are, we use the natural resources, we transform them, and then we dispose them of. So this I have seen is a take, make, and dispose economy. So this is the economy which we are following. But there is a need, the climate change crisis is calling for that the products which we use, the end of life concept has to go. We have to have a restorative mechanism where we can reuse these products, and the processes, designs are such that our resources, they are used for a longer time. So this is what is the circular economy. Here, the gap between the production and the disposal is being reduced, so that more and more we can, reintroduce the products, and their life is more. This will really help us on tackling the energy of climate change crisis. And we will be reducing the raw material use also. We will be maximizing the value of materials along the production and the consumption chain. So I think we have a very learned speaker today, Mr. Prabhjot Sodhi. He has been with the UNDP, he has been with the UN, and he has worked a lot in the space of circular economy. And I welcome him to this as a speaker, and I look forward to learning more from him. And I request Mr. PB Singh to kindly introduce him. Thank you very much, and welcome, Mr. Sodhi.
Yeah, PB, before you introduce the speaker to all others except me, because I know Sodhi Saab probably for 30-35 years, sir.
Yes, correct.
And I personally welcome you to this webinar series, and be feeling grateful that you have spared some time for us and our audience to tell us something about circular economy. You have such a vast experience, Sodhi Saab, that whatever you speak is from ground, and it would definitely help us in building things better. Once again, personally welcome to Sodhi Saab for this webinar series.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be with you and your team.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to Sodhi sir and other participants. I welcome to the 46th series of webinar. Skill Council for Green Jobs is organizing a series of webinars to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav 2022 as a part of India's celebration of 75 years of Independence Day. In this series, SCGJ is inviting eminent and learned speakers in different sectors on sustainable development, renewable energy, waste management, so as to deepen the understanding of recent development sectors. The first in the series was launched on 24th September 2021. Today, we have a very experienced, learned, distinguished speaker who will be sharing his expertise and experience on circular economy and integrated waste management. Mr. Sodhi, sir, is a presently Senior Program Director, circular economy at Center for Environment Education. Previously had UNDP circular economy uh, during 2016 to 2021, working experience with multiple donors in the space of circular economy. Plastic, Coca-Cola, Hindustan Unilever Limited's HDFC Bank, MRAI Energy, and Coca-Cola Foundation. He is recently conferred by C.V. Raman University Indoor Professor of Plastic. This has been in recognized of the quality of trainings institutions building the undersigned has imported over last 30 years. Working hands last 12 years in implementation in circular economy, sector strategies, system thinkings, material flow, recovery centers, competence development programs, business models, informal sector, including Safai Sathis, address the EPR domain. Partnership across government, including LDs, civil societies, recycles in the domain of waste value chain. He worked as a country program manager for the Global Environment Facility, UNDP Small Grant Program for 14 years. He was program manager for Department of International Development, United Kingdom and Government of India in CRIPCO for period of 14 years. In 2012, award the Talented Conservation Award by the George Washington University, Washington DC, USA. Mr. Sodhi sir has published several articles and journals in international and national journals. He is facilitated studies, meeting, workshop, and conference at national and international level. Mr. Sodhi has written Low Carbon Lifestyle, which was released in COP22 in 2015 in Paris by then Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Prakash Javadekar, Government of India. Mr. Sodhi has a diversified experience in leading and implementing projects in wide range of area, plastic waste management to climate change, natural resource, land development to livelihood of poor and marginalized in the tribal, rural and urban space for the last 40 years. Mr. Sodhi received several recognition and awards. Some of are in recently January 2022, nominated as a member of Waste to Wealth Mission of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Honorable PM and nominated by Material Recycling Association of India as a board member for plastic domain. Nominated by Niti Aayog, Government of India, member in all 11 committees of Government of India to ensure circular economy approach across 11 sectors. Between 2021-20, nominated as a member of the UN Global Plastic Team, guiding the scaling up of the plastic program in many UNDP Southeast nations and Indian partners. Nominated by CBCP and MOEFCC, member of the committee to draft the National Extended Producer Responsibility Guidelines for Plastic and Dry Waste. In member secretary, he was the member secretary, National Steering Committee for the Global Environment Facility, UNDP Small Grant Program. He awarded Fellowship Award on 14th Feb 2019 in the All India Young Scientist and Farmer Conference at Allahabad, India. Awarded in 1998, awarded by the British government of Most Excellent Order of the Member of the British Empire
B.V. Singh ji, I think we can stop. You are
Okay.
very kindly introducing me.
Right, sir.
I
Okay,
think we can
okay.
start
So
once you tell me.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Well, B.V. Singh Saab, thank you very much, firstly, for introducing me so elaborately. So kind of you, please. And I must thank Dr. Saxena and Praveen Saxena for bringing me in this wonderful setup of Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, which itself is a very, very pioneering work which the government of India is doing into the Skills Council Green Jobs program. I would just go into a thought process. मैं कभी-कभी सोचता हूँ कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं और क्यों कर रहे हैं. I think so we have to really start thinking today. If I say we are a highly consumption-oriented economy, even though 25% still are lying, or 20% people are still below the poverty line, in spite of best efforts by the government of India, not to say the least that the Prime Minister himself, the Honorable Prime Minister, is taking on things strongly into this way. Today, we have nearly about 9 billion metric tons of resource consumption. And if we see the resource efficiency part, we are mining about 1,600 metric tons per acre to the government, to the world average of 480 metric tons per acre. So you can imagine that how the consumption is going on. If I see and take back when both of us, all of us who are watching, when Dr. Saxena and myself, we were school children, we were never using plastic bags. We were then also consuming. We were taking our thelas or jolas, or we were taking in paper this. Many of my friends would come up and say that the life cycle approach of the paper is far more than that of the plastics. But the point is how the consumption is leading to disposal. So I think so today, before I set into what I've written a bit, which Praveen Saxena ji also said many things in her introduction to the program, I would say that we have to reimagine the way we are producing things, the way we are consuming, and the way we are disposing. And that all will lead us to a resource which we call waste at a wrong place. So I think so it's for us to really start understanding that concept of how we are using and disposing things. And I think we have to really start seeing that anything which is brought onto the table of life, we must start using it, reusing it before we buy it. Next slide, please. Can you just take me on? So as Dr. Saxena has already said, we are today in a depletive economy, which is linear, produce, करते जाओ, बनाते जाओ, consume करो, फेंक दो. हम सोचते नहीं हैं कि उसको कौन उठाएगा, कौन देखेगा. And Skills Council, Green Job itself is working with the informal sector in a big way. And I have had the opportunity of working with Skills Council Green Jobs, and they have been very upfront. Anybody who comes there, they are with folded hands, welcoming them and trying to find a common place to work. They funded us many programs when I was in UNDP. But coming back to the shift of thought process, we have to start saying we want to, if we are manufacturing, we need to see the redesigning of things, that once it's lived its life cycle, how is it going to be recovered, or how is it going to be remanufactured, or how is it going to be recycled? So once we start looking at the production stage of the product, when we earlier were having these products, now plastic is a wonderful material. I don't say that plastic is not a good material, but we make it littered all over the place. Nobody has said you don't eat it. You eat it, but you dispose it safely. And we have to look at the two aspects, production and disposal. consumption is always going to happen. So production is how this is going to be redesigned, how it can be remanufactured, what is going to be wasted. That is all we have to focus on. Next, please. So I already said that waste is not a waste. It is a resource, only it is at a wrong place. Let me give you another very good example. I was working in some of these committees, which PV Singh Saab was very kindly introducing me. I felt a little embarrassed on such a long introduction, but that's so kind of him. When I was working with some of the paper sector, I had a big session with them, and they told that the collection of newspaper is 96%. And the collection of white paper, I asked them, what is the collection of white paper? They said it is 4%. I said, my God, because we just tear the paper and throw it in the bin, and as soon as it gets wet, it gets to be the landfill. And that is how these papers are then either getting mixed so badly. So I think so with the newspaper, we should really go with the white paper also to be sold. There are channels to be formed. There must have been one wise woman who really said that we need to store papers and we will form a chain and sell them for its reconsumption. And I think so it has flowed from 70 years. I have asked my father, when in your childhood were you trying to keep them? So he said, yes, in later years of my life, we started to keep them. But I, from my childhood, have seen that the newspaper was kept on, and I'm 65 today. So you can well imagine it goes 65 years back. So the whole idea is how we are producing and throwing things. So rather than reusing, recycling, repair, Government of India has come up with a policy now. So Government of India is really thinking on the circular economy. The Honorable Prime Minister has himself said on many occasions, in both nationally and internationally, that circular economy is going to be the tomorrow of India. You see, there is a resource efficiency and repairability law which the Government of India is bringing. We are using products like Apple watches or any other. We are throwing them because they are not repairable. So they are bringing in that any of those products which are not repaired will be having a cost towards its collection, meeting its repairability or meeting its recovery or meeting its recycling. So there has to be an environmental cost around it. So these are the new loops which the Government of India is creating. And I think so circular economy will only be successful if we young minds, and I must congratulate Skills Council and Green Jobs, that they are already creating many of the small sort of startups with the people in the sector and trying to encourage. Also, I met Alan MacArthur's foundation head in US recently in 2019 during the COP, and he was talking a lot that how they are trying to set up in every research body in every country, and so that they can feed in the data. I think so Government of India is already thinking how they are going to place circular economy, institutionalize it into a ministry or a separate body or a separate system, how the mechanism. So those are the thoughts which are already getting into mind, which are what Damija ji said, what Saxena Saab said, regenerated by design. Any product which comes into market, we have to see how it can be restored back into systems. Today, the 11 sector committees which were formed by the Government of India, Niti Aayog, about 3 years back, and they have all been entwined in their respective ministries, be it be hazardous waste, used oils, solar panels, plastics, electronic waste, non-ferrous and ferrous metals, and so forth. There is a great emphasis going on how to build it in a regenerative, restorative way at the production level for designs and at the disposal level to reuse it. So we are moving much away, and the planet's resources are finite, are limited, We have to bring this back if we have to go to the next generations to use the same way as we are using. Next, please. Thank you very much. Next. So I often question, we live in cities or villages and we have habitats. In a city, we divide the city in many parts, and in the parts, we have hospitals, we have markets, we have schools, and we have other facilities. So if we take, for example, Chandigarh, every sector, it's in about 50 sectors. Every sector is equally designed and equally finite area. They have markets, they have schools, and they have hospitals and or entertainment services like cinema halls. Then why do we create a single site for waste management? Why cannot we create decentralized systems for waste, whichever they are generating, so that that can be handled across in that area itself? All we need is a 2,000 square feet area, which is anyway there with the municipal commissioners. And they are trying their level best every day to meet up, to pick up. And I must also say to the audience that the commissioners in these cities are really geared up since the Swachh Bharat Mission program, a very pioneering program led by the Prime Minister himself, is making waves in the world. So I think so we have to really come to decentralized material recovery facilities, catering to 20,000 households, which are then forced to create segregation at source, and recovery takes place. And the people who are doing the cleaning for us, they are our real Safai Sathis. They are the ones who are cleaning ourselves. Otherwise, we are throwing all over the place, and we do not call them. Please, my request is not to call them kabadiwalas. They are not kabadiwalas. They are not kachrawalas. They are Safai Sathis. They are a part of our system, and we have to give them dignity and honor. And this cannot be to be an initiative with the government. It can be done by civil society, and it can be done rightly by all of us within our own system. So the most dump sites lack leachate. These are the issues with which we have been grappling and which we are highlighting. And now there is a lot of these dump sites are getting cleared city by city, and a lot of emphasis there. There is NGT who is monitoring them. So I think so all in all, we are moving towards a very, very nice path, I would say, a very constructive path and a very positive path. We should not be feeling gloomy. There is lots to be done. New people are coming forward. Every day we are seeing new ideas coming into it. I'm in Mumbai today. I'm in a big IFAC workshop where they're talking all about recovery and cleaning processes of the waste. I was seeing somebody, there is a machine he was showing, and I was seeing it in the WhatsApp groups commonly with each one of you, that from the groundnut under high compression, they are making pots which are biodegradable and which can be used. So rather than burning them, they are making them into briquettes. They are adding into various, I was seeing another research that they are now adding plastics into cement in Japan in trying to make the walls more stronger. They are adding PET filaments into it. So there is a lot of research getting into it, and there is a lot of bring back into the whole system. So a circular loop is being established. Next, please. I would also like to say that, shredded plastic is today going on to make composite boards. I saw it 15 years back in Brazil, and I'm very happy since last 5 years, the composite boards, we are finding standards, verification, testing ground, and these are coming commonly into the system. And I think so, these are the steps which are making everything in a more circular fashion. The minute that boards break, it goes back into formation, it comes back into the system. It goes back again. And that's what is circular economy. Resource is not wasted. It is put to use time and again. This is something very common. I always start feeling that somehow or the other we have to learn So do's and don'ts on how to cut off the fresh milk packets. Next, please. Anything below 5 mm is microplastic. We have come into an habit that we are cutting it in the wrong fashion and creating microplastics. Each one of us will have to really start thinking how to go about it. And the package material will also, the companies in the packaging material will also have to see that how they need to bring in so that this is not cut or used in the way. Next, please. So, you know, these are the things. We go into 5-star hotels and we all go there. These are all way we cut it. We just throw it. These small pieces are going into the dustbin and the dustbin to the landfill through the various ecosystem approach. But if you see those two ones, I have slit them personally from the top, and you don't disintegrate them and you take the milk out. Next, please. Similar way, these are the packets. These are the right ways. In every place, plastic has occupied. And this is what we really need to talk about. You see, if we go to the hotel, the soap is in a paper pack and then in a plastic pack. The toothbrush is in a paper pack and then in a plastic pack. We have to start thinking, are we materially aesthetics at one point, cleanliness at other point? All these things are important. But then we have also to realize that what is the package material leading outside? And we just tear it, throw it, and that gets into the waste. I think so. These are small little things that each one of us can do it ourselves, and nobody has to tell us. I have a 4-year-old, 3.5, 4-year-old granddaughter, and she's based out of Canada, and she rolls her voice in English, and she says, "You don't have to ask me to go to the toilet, bathroom, but you have to flush the bathroom before you come out." So, you know, that's how learning is important, and I enjoy it, and I always tickle her to say the same things again. And I have 2 granddaughters, and they both do the same thing. Next, please. So it's focusing on our own self. We have set up these sort of collection centers in New Delhi with the support of HDFC Bank, with the New Delhi Municipal Council there in Connaught Place, where the people are bringing their waste. As you can see, NGOs bringing their waste, putting in the bins, and then it goes right into the recycling. And this is a small kiosk we have put. We have done it in about 20 places in the country. And this all material goes to recycling. We can see Dharmender ji, who was then last year, was the chairman of the council in New Delhi. So what a joy. We can also see Dr. Ramesh and his colleagues there around doing. People come, people give masks, people give thellas to us, and we distribute them further to the people who are bringing waste. For every half kg, we give them thellas. On my extreme left, you can see our Safai Sathis. They bring this waste and we give them thellas or masks, whichever they want. So these are little steps that we individuals can take up in our own societies and do a bit towards circular economy. Next, please. I'll take another 10 minutes. And these are the ways we have put these small, play cards that I will repair my products. I will upcycle them. I'll redesign them. I will reduce. I will not waste. One thing which always bothers me on consumption side is when I go to parties and I see people taking a lot of food and wasting it in the bin. I just cannot understand. If there is open food available, why can't we go second time and fill it and take it? Why do we have to throw it in the bin? Anyway, these are small things, but they make a big impact. Next, please. So material resource efficiency, I already said you that circular economy is nothing. It is all about designing our processes and products. How we design them and how we act on them to use every little part of the waste for a better, responsible way. Or we eliminate that there should be no waste when we are designing products, so that the consumption takes in a way that there is no waste, or if the waste is, then it is reused, repaired, or regenerated. And that's all a cyclic form of life. Life is a cyclic form. We have seen that when we lose, it's a circle. Life itself is a circle. You grow, you are small, born, you don't speak, you don't know, you learn everything. And then when you get old, then you need the same help, and you are losing, with God forbids, it doesn't happen, but we become weak in eyesight or hearing aids. So that life is taking a circle back into growth. So next, please. Rohit, I'm not going to get into the solid waste management system, but I think so. Waste generation, when it is taking place at various places, there are temporary storages we create. We have recovery of the recyclables and the non-recyclables, and we should have junk shops. I think in 5 years' time, many young people, and Saxena ji and Dameja ji, madam, I'll come and talk to you. I keep on talking at the forums that in every mall we should have a small shop, and which should be taking any product from anybody. Today I have electricals which are of no use to me, but I don't know how to dispose them. So there are young people coming up every day. I see new ideas generated into business models. So there should be in every market. So when I'm going for purchasing, I pick up my products, I give it there, and that is taken up for recycling. So I was talking to one or two of the big electronic waste manufacturers that can we set up these shops within the locations of the big, huge malls which are coming up. So the whole idea is, how are we disposing? How are we using? And I would request that with the Saxena Saab, we will work out something on the informal side into the disposals of the electronics or the others, and how we can create the green jobs for these people. Next, please. The other thing is that the investment which ministries and offices like yourself are making investments into the inclusivity of the waste value ecosystem. You see, in our country, we are blessed in many, many ways. And I tell you, it's a serious blessing that we live so many in such beautiful ways of life. So we need to create inclusivity for these marginalized people. They help them to form self-help groups, Safai Sathis or Safai Mitra, or whatever you call them. They should be given dignity and respect. Conduct health camps for them, financial literacy, provide them occupational identity cards, financial linkages to loan. Many of them are bereft with education, and creating micro enterprises with them. What if we can give small help to them? I have personally started Donate Bharat program, where I have 20, 30 volunteers from Karma Mission, institutionalize them, and they go from big places in big multi-sector societies, and they put their stalls for 2 days or 1 day, and they collect any and everything properly digitized, and then it is stored and then separated, and then it is given to the marginalized and the needy in a form that it's not free, so that they are acting as an intermediary link between the consumers and the safe disposal. So that is something which we have to really create within our societies, within our homes. We are doing this. I am sure even today people are doing this. I have did my life. My books were given to my younger brother or sister. My clothes, which were quite okay, were worn by the other one. So we have been an economy of circularity within our system from ages. And our herbal ways of life, our medical systems, using the naturopathy and Ayush. So they all lead us to a circular economy approach. You are using more of a herbal way of life, where you are producing those plants, using them for your benefits, and then reproducing them and reusing them, reproducing them. It's a continued circle of life, the plant-based economy, I say, and that is also a circular economy in itself. So next, please. I think so the investment which the Green Jobs and the Skills Council is doing in terms of inclusivity of these informal sectors, I myself have partnered with you, as I said earlier, is the path-breaking program. And congratulations to you and the ministry. Waste pickers are in the way, the informal sector is within 3 steps. One is the waste pickers, which are going house to house and collecting ourselves. The others are working as scrap dealers, aggregators, jisko hum kabadi wala bolte hain. They are the real people who are creating a circular economy, and the informal recyclers who are recycling, they need to be brought into the formal system so that whatever use they are doing, that should not be disturbed. And they should be brought into a formal system. Next, please. I think I'm left with 5, 6 slides, more of them in pictures. We have set up about 20 material recovery facilities when we were there in UNDP, and I've set up 5 of them. We are going to have them started by next January. They are all in various stages of construction. All this is with the help of the HDFC Bank. And these are the type of machines we are going to put there. And we are going to create a clear transparency. We are going to have very strong focus on the safe facility water, drinking water, basic sanitation for the people, and sanitary waste incinerators and bathing places, and where they can keep their clothes. Because they said to me when we were working, "Saab, hum gande ghar nahi jana chahte hain. We don't want to go dirty back home. We want to have a bath, put our clothes back into safe here. These provide us safe banks." And we did that. So these are the type of learnings with people's participation. You get it. The whole life cycle of circular economy is empowering people and then regenerating them into various, or unlocking, as they say, of the real mind. So that's how circular economy is. Next, please. We are setting up material. This is a very important slide where you can see how in the material recovery facility, it is nothing but a cold process-based sorting center. So by 54 fractions, people are sorting their waste and they're creating value to that waste, and they're making money out of it, and they're recycling it also separately into glass, into metal, into paper, into plastics, so and so forth, and reducing the landfill or reducing the waste to go as a reject. Next, please. This is about the material recycling centers. From the recovery centers, we can set up simple recycling centers. And with the ULBs we are setting up, we are putting washing lines, we are putting effluent treatment plants, we are having dryer machines, we are trying to agglomerate extrusions under a safe working environment, under a safe hygienic environment. So all this are real startups for the young. These cost nothing but no more than 2 crores, and one can establish them for about a 10-ton facility per day. So you can really see how you can take care of the waste. This is particularly in terms of plastics, but there can be for other products as well. Next, please. So these are the type, we very strongly focus on the safety aspects and what are the called under the ABC analysis, the most important crucial ingredients which should be available within the MRC. So this is that under the materials ABC analysis. The A is the most important, but not frequently available. These are all A type of little devices that we need. Next, please, or machineries, or, you know, this is something which is very close to my heart. People can do things. We have to show faith and trust. These are some small kabadiwalas, all women groups. in organizations like Akar in Bombay who are doing this. We have given them simple hand billing machines and simple weighing scales, which are electronic. People come and deposit their waste, they get a slip, they can go and exchange it for some food, or they can take money, whatever at the rates available during that period. Each one of them can be turned into small aggregators, can be turned into entrepreneurs. And this is all women held program. I feel very happy and I salute the people who have set it up and work in it. Thank you. Next, please. This is another small extrusion from the, this is, from the medicines which we use. It has aluminum foil and it has plastics. The plastic melts earlier, the aluminum foil goes, simple extrusion machines, devised, healthcare taken up, no emissions, and we are taking the aluminum separately and the plastic separately. Next, please. So I think so when we talk of circular economy, we are talking on three important aspects of social, economic, and environmental. So in the environmental side, the reduced waste generation, pollution, recovery of secondary sources. I showed you that in the slide before, where the medicines which we are throwing are being picked up and separated and segregated. And time will come when in our house, we will have to segregate 5 or 6 things. And medicines, of course, separately, plastic separately, dry waste, newspaper separately, wet waste separately, so that we can give it to the people. And I think so we will make our country more economically strong and make our social conflicts resolved, and we will have better products and better livelihoods over a sustained period of time. Next, please. It hits on to the Sustainable Development Goals. I have defined them, that how we are increasing the income of waste pickers and hitting at SDG number 1, empowering women waste pickers through inclusion and improved livelihoods, and we are hitting at 3. And then, circular economy, waste innovation and technology, energy recovery, extended producer liability. Government is introducing in every place sector like rubber, tires. All this is now getting into a more circular economy way and more into recycling and EPR as well. Reducing landfills, reduction in greenhouse gases, marine litter, safe handlings. All this leads to another 4 goals, and of course, collaborations. So practically out of the 17, we are hitting at 14 goals. Just imagine an integrated waste management system can really contribute into a more circular way and contributing into jobs, contributing into skills enhancement, contributing into economic, social, and environmental benefits. Next, please. That's the time has come up. I have to wind up. In one of my villages about 15 years back, I was in a village and I was welcomed by this young girl, and she had used all local resources which were going to be getting into biodegradable. Look at that beautiful flower. I was totally mesmerized at how a mind can make a beauty from nothing. So this is the skill of this young little lady who I was desperately very happy. And I have to go once again into this village. It is in Orissa district in Raigada. And I can never forget this. Thank you very much to all the people who have been with us through the time and live on. And I'm very much open to anything you would like to share more. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Singh.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Sodhi. I would like to compliment you for the integrated approach, the way you have presented the entire thing, and the do's and don'ts which you had shown. They are of a very, in fact, some of the things we also intend to cut the plastic pouch from the site. It is out of habit. It's not that, yeah. So that is one thing I've learned, and there are many more things which you have shown, which I feel local resources, yes, we need to focus on that. But the other parts of the economy, we have to have more focus on regeneration and restoration. There's one small comment in the chat box about phytocapping of landfills. So
Sorry?
phytocapping, plant and soils to cover
Yes,
the
yes.
landfill.
Phytocapping.
Yes, phytocapping. So I think, could you tell us something about that?
So, if the landfills are made in such a way that they are not having any litter material of plastics and metal in it, then there is no harm in capping up these landfill sites with the latest technology and putting them into a more catchy for the eye. This is not only in India, it's all over the world, and it is done. It is done in a way that it biodegrades, and tomorrow it becomes a site. And maybe if we leave, it is non-segregated, and we leave the not biodegradable materials in it, then it will be harmful to the soil and leachates will develop. But otherwise, this is a common phenomena and which should be encouraged. As long as it is kept in the walls of non-contamination.
There's one other question about extended producer's responsibility. How does it work? This is from Mr. Pradeep Satkal.
Okay, that's a very good question. You see, what is extended producer responsibility? It is a social way of making producers responsible for what they are bringing out for consumption. So if I am packaging plastics and I am bringing it in the market and that is being used and it is thrown and littered, then yes, the consumer has done a mistake by throwing it and littering it. But equally, the person who is bringing it into the market is responsible for its collection and has to pay for a price. It is a form of an environmental compensation, and the extended producer responsibility in the world is happening, and it is happening for everything. It may be Government of India has introduced extended producer responsibility. First it was introduced in electronic waste, which is really going more than 30% annual growth. It's very high. And then it was later brought now into plastics and packaging plastics. Packaged plastic. Plastic is not bad. You see, plastic is used in our heart also. So it's not a bad thing. It is one of the most splendid article which has been produced. But the way it has been used mercilessly and fairly, without any fear into the system, in order to capture that for an environmental view, the EPR is being brought in so that into the packaging, the product can be collected and the people can be compensated for that. And there are various ways they have been introduced. I was in the draft committee of the first EPR in plastics way back in 2017-18, and thanks to Mr. Nigam and other officials. The EPR has now come into tires. It is coming into very soon in textiles. In Britain, they are more or less going to start 1 cent for every square meter of cloth which is brought into the market. The people who will be bringing it on brands, they will put it. So it's the brands who are marketing it for their benefit. So then if the environment is being lost into it, then they need to compensate. So that is where the extended producer responsibility is. And I must tell you one thing, that the extended producer responsibility, having been designed by the Ministry of Environment, Forest, they are the regulatory authority, has been tremendously, beautifully articulated. It's one of the areas which is encouraging jobs and skills. And I think so, it is a plus as it comes into the countries. And Indian systems of EPRs in plastic has really made a roar in the world. And many of the countries have come forward to really understand the EPR system in a very diverse economy. India is a diverse economy. It's talking of various stakeholders. It is a federal system where we have states and center. And so that way, taking care of all stakeholders at all levels, the EPR has been designed. Hats off to the people who have been really doing this in the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change.
Yes. They have different levels. Initially, they had some, there was some resistance, what we learned from the ministry.
Yes, I'll tell you what the resistance was. The rules which came out first as a draft rules were geography agnostic. That means anybody can produce and collect anywhere. So the states made a very big uproar, rightly so, that if plastic is being marketed in a packaged form, in the form of biscuits, say example, or bread, or whatever, in the snacks, and it is marketed in Bihar, say, then the person who is having as a brand owner can collect that in Maharashtra, does not need to come to Bihar, then the litter always remains there. So there was a strong protest from states that geography agnostic should not be there. Anybody who is marketing in the states has to collect it from the states. So it is product agnostic. Now, anything you produce, you collect that in the form of plastic, which is fine. But still the rules have made separately for filaments, thin plastics, multi-layers, and so forth. So, very fantastic rules covering the various product and also the geographies and also the technologies.
Some of the big companies, they have developed systems also like the CFLs, the electronics and all that. They have some places where you can deposit, but there's not much awareness about it. Because I have friends in our RWAs who are asking me where to deposit this. Like you said, electronics. Electronics we all have at home, but we don't want to throw it like this to the kabadi wala. We want to give it to a place where it can go and be recycled. So I don't think there are so many agencies who can come, to at least to RWAs. Shops are okay. At least to RWAs, if they come and they can collect. So I knew one or two and I suggested, but beyond that, I have not come across any.
I will link you up. There are very good 2 or 3 excellent manufacturers in electronic waste. And I know them. They are both in and around Delhi. One is in Noida, Xero, and the other one is Green Space. So they are very good organizations.
So at the RWA level, they can go, they can collect, people can.
Yes. What we can do is we can sit together, set up a system, and we can always give them calls once they have sufficient quantity that they can pick up. We can create these stores, as I was telling you that every big shopping mall should have a small shop where people can come. While they come to shop, they can bring their products, put it back in there and get the money out of it. I think so. It's shortly going to happen. One of the young guns is going to come up with a company called Junkyard, and then they will pick it up from there and they'll pay you. And they'll make the money out of it by recycling, as you are rightly saying.
I think following as a follow-up to the EPR question, he has asked, who is the competent authority for this? For the
In
EPR?
the sense for EPR?
Yes.
So EPR is a rule extended. It is a monitoring tool with the pollution control boards. And the EPR is rolled out by the ministry, which is the regulatory body. The regulatory body is creating the policy and rethinking the policy is all the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. But the body which is exercising EPR is the Central Pollution Control Board through their respective state pollution control boards.
Thank you. I think if Dr. Saxena would like to come.
Thank you very much, Sodhi sir. In fact, I was thinking that whenever we have met, you have given some idea or the other. What about this lecture? After all, there are so many ideas which are flowing, and every time when we met, we have done something together. And I would like to request you once again that please let us know what best we can do. One of the very small project or the concept we were trying to work on, you are talking about the malls, that why not to certify each shop from Skill Council for Green Jobs saying that they segregate, or for example, we segregate and we certify that this outlet of a particular company is segregating the waste and handing it over to us. It becomes a sort of a social flag that saying that this store is segregating, or this house is segregating, or this society is segregating, and the Skill Council starts playing a role. We are already working with a young boy, and also obviously we should maybe from your point and from all of us, we should start saying that we encourage giving our waste to so-called kawadiwalas. The name can be better, because at least they know from where to pick up and where to dispose if we are not able to do anything further. So sir, what I would like to say that let us fix up a small meeting, maybe a virtual meeting or whatever it is, and try to develop some program, entrepreneurship program. We are very, very keen as Sector Skill Council, as our responsibility. We are rolling out many entrepreneurship programs. So we would request your help, your guidance in developing some entrepreneurs for circular economy as well. So this is what I wanted to say, and I'm sure we will connect once again. Thanks to PB who could bring you or rope you in to this so that we are once again back together. Thank you very much, PB. Go ahead.
But I think so. You said a very important point, Saxena Sahab, not to miss out on that before PB really winds it up. I must also thank Srinivas who led me in. But what you are saying holds a great promise. I think so. I'm going to take the first opportunity to come to you next week, certainly. And before the Dussehra and Diwali, we'll certainly meet up to finalize things, what you are saying. We also can think out about startups into creating inclusivity for the waste pickers, and also mechanisms to finance in the form of ways you are talking about, how we can strengthen the whole system as a whole. I think so. You made a very good point. Well, you have been doing it for years together before you were in MRAI ministry at that point as well. Always we were discussing certain things. But thank you very much for having me in. It was a great pleasure talking and putting these things together.
Thank you very much, sir. PB, you can do a formal thanks.
Yeah,
thanks.
Sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir, for your information, Mr. Srinivas is busy some urgent work somewhere, so that he is not able to join today's webinar.
No, he said me.
Our Srinivasan, UNDP wale?
Yes,
UNDP wala.
yes, sir.
Oh,
Aapka
we are quite in touch with him actually.
Yeah.
So when he was in REC also, we took advantage of our relationship, took a project from REC, and that project was for MRF also in waste management. We will discuss with you separately, sir, what difficulties we faced in that. So
we'll talk.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your excellent presentation. Thanks a lot. And I would like to thank all participants for his valuable times. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, and goodbye, Sodhi sir.
Bye. Happy Dussehra. Happy Diwali.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Sir, thank
Have
you.
a great day.
Thank you, sir.